Before Russia could ever dream of high-speed rails or transcontinental empires powered by steel, two self-taught inventors lit the first spark. In the heart of the industrial Urals, Yefim and Miron Cherepanov built a machine that defied expectations, challenged tradition, and roared against the quiet world of the 1830s. This was the moment Russia stepped onto the tracks of modernity, and today, we uncover the forgotten iron beast that almost changed everything forever. The early 19th century was a strange moment for the Russian Empire. On the surface, it was vast, powerful, and intimidating, stretching from the Baltic to the Pacific like a sleeping giant made of frozen forests and iron-rich mountains. But beneath that imposing image lay a harsh truth. The truth that technologically, Russia lagged far behind Britain and the rapidly modernizing nations of Western Europe. Transportation across the empire relied on horses trudging through mud, river barges that froze every winter, and endless human labor. Everything was slow, expensive, and painfully seasonal. Even as factories in the Ural Mountains began to grow, their progress crawled. Raw materials piled up faster than they could be moved. Production waited on weather, manpower, and the stubborn limitations of outdated transport. Meanwhile, the Industrial Revolution was exploding elsewhere where steam engines roared to life, ironworks expanded, and machines were reshaping entire economies. Russia, on the other hand, stood at a crossroads, choosing whether to evolve or be left behind. Nowhere was this tension felt more intensely than in Nizhny Tagil, a harsh, mineral-rich frontier in the Urals. Here stood the mighty Demidov factories, one of the empire's largest industrial complexes, powered by thousands of workers, skilled craftsmen, and overworked engineers struggling to keep pace with European innovation. Russia needed a breakthrough. And in this remote, smoke-filled industrial valley, two men were about to deliver it. Because in an empire built on distance and frozen landscapes, speed wasn't just a luxury, it was survival too. And to understand Russia's first locomotive, you have to understand the extraordinary men behind all the magic. Yefim Cherepanov, born into the restraints of serfdom, was never meant to become an engineer. Yet from an early age, he displayed an almost uncanny ability to understand machines. He could listen to a grinding gear or a wheezing pump and instantly know what was wrong. He wasn't educated in classrooms, instead educated in noise, steel, and sweat. His son, Miron Cherepanov, grew up in that same industrial world, absorbing his father's brilliance like a sponge. Sharper, faster, and endlessly curious, Miron became the visionary to Yefim's seasoned mastery. Together, they formed a partnership that blended experience with ambition, a perfect engineering duet. At the vast Demidov factories, the Cherepanovs repaired everything from pumps, engines, smelters, to furnaces. The more they fixed, the more indispensable they became. And the more European machinery they encountered, the more dangerous their ideas grew. British engineers like Trevithick and Stephenson proved what steam could do. The father and son studied their designs, sketched improvements, and finally dared to ask a question few Russians even imagined. Why couldn't they build a locomotive of their own? Skeptics laughed, saying Russia copied and that it didn't innovate. But the Cherepanovs were different. So, two men, armed with steel, fire, and stubborn determination, dared to challenge an empire's technological limits. In 1833, inside the roaring workshops of the Nizhny Tagil plant, something unprecedented was taking shape. Under the sparks, steam, and clang of iron, the Cherepanovs began constructing what no Russian had ever dared to attempt: the empire's first steam locomotive. Piece by piece, they forged their vision into reality. A massive steam boiler, riveted by hand, became the locomotive's beating heart. Cylinders were cast and polished until they gleamed with mechanical precision. Heavy iron wheels were shaped in the factory's forges, each one designed to grip the newly built rails. Chains, gears, and connecting rods were assembled like the limbs of a living creature, of an iron beast built to move. Every part of the locomotive, even the rails themselves, was crafted in that very factory. This was Russian engineering in its purest form: raw, self-made, but also industrial. When the machine finally took its first breath of steam, it reached speeds of 12 to 16 kilometers per hour, pulling 3 to 4 tons with nothing but coal and fire. For Russia in the 1830s, this wasn't just impressive, it was revolutionary. Workers gathered around, wide-eyed, as the engine hissed, trembled, and then moved. A spectacle no one in the empire had ever witnessed. The Demidov owners watched with fascination and caution. For a moment, the Urals held its breath. All because a machine that shouldn't have existed now did. By 1834, the Cherepanovs were no longer experimenting, now they were refining. Their first locomotive had proven the idea. Now they set out to prove the future. The father and son team constructed a larger, stronger, more ambitious machine, one capable of hauling an astonishing 16 tons. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was also a declaration. To support it, they built a dedicated 3.5-kilometer railway line stretching from the mine to the Demidov factory. Primitive by modern standards, but in 1830s Russia, it became the first fully functioning railway system in the empire. And unlike the first locomotive, this one didn't just run for demonstrations. It worked daily and also reliably. It hauled ore, delivered materials, and removed the need for exhausting manual labor. Every trip replaced dozens of workers and countless horse-drawn carts. Factory workers soon gave it a name whispered with pride and awe: the Fire Wagon. With this machine, the Cherepanovs proved something critical. Russia didn't have to mimic Europe. It could engineer its own future, forged from its own iron and ingenuity. The iron horse had learned to run, and now it ran with the strength of an empire behind it. Yet even with steam on their side, the Cherepanovs were about to face an enemy far tougher than iron, the Russian tradition. Despite their locomotives' success, resistance crept in from every direction. Russia's industrial culture in the 1830s was deeply conservative, suspicious of anything new, especially anything that hissed, shook, or required constant fuel. Factory managers worried endlessly about maintenance costs, the unpredictable price of coal, the need for trained operators, and the frightening possibility of mechanical accidents. To them, horses were familiar, were predictable. And overall, horses, according to them, were just Russian. The Naberezhnaya Railway, just 3.5 kilometers long, felt insignificant compared to the massive intercity railways booming in Britain. Bureaucracy slowed every proposal, every expansion, every dream. And while Europe raced ahead with sprawling steel networks, Russia hesitated at every turn. The Cherepanovs pushed the Demidov owners to expand the line, to invest, to think bigger. But hesitation turned into reluctance, and reluctance into quiet refusal. In the end, it simply proved that in a country where tradition outweighed innovation, even a roaring machine could be silenced. Then came the final blow: the coal cost money. Horses did not need these. In a purely economic decision, however, tragically short-sighted, the factory replaced the locomotive with horse-drawn carts. Even picturing it that the once mighty engine was now sitting on its rails, cold and unmoving, its wheels starting to rust. Not defeated by engineering flaws, but by fear of the future. To understand why the Cherepanov locomotive never transformed Russia, we have to zoom out, far beyond Nizhny Tagil. The truth is simple and tragic: the empire just wasn't ready. Russia in the 1830s had no national railway plan, no grand vision like Britain's. The government did not push for rail expansion until the 1850s, nearly 2 decades after the Cherepanovs had already proven what was possible. Serfdom chained the country's technological progress, limiting innovation and trapping talent in outdated systems. And the nobility, steeped in tradition, often dismissed locomotives as expensive, foreign machines, and strange Western toys that didn't belong on Russian soil. The Cherepanov locomotive wasn't just an invention. It was a warning flare, launched into a sky no one bothered to look at. Their machine was ahead of its time, too far ahead for the empire's hesitant leadership. So while Europe built thousands of miles of railways, Russia moved slowly, cautiously, and ultimately late. By the time the empire finally embraced steam, the world had already sprinted ahead. Twist. In a twist of cruel irony, the Cherepanovs revealed the path forward, but no one followed. As a result, Russia wasn't defeated by Britain's technology. it was defeated by its own hesitation. The Cherepanovs never lived to see the true impact of their work. In their own lifetimes, they received modest praise, admiration from engineers, respect from factory owners, a few official reports acknowledging their achievements. But fame, glory, a place in the empire's spotlight, those never arrived. Well, it was worse. Their locomotives did not survive. As priorities shifted and budgets tightened, the machines that once shook the earth with steam and fire were quietly dismantled. Their boilers became scrap metal. Their wheels were reforged into new tools. It seemed for a moment as if their creation had vanished entirely. But history has a longer memory than people. Decades later, when Russia finally committed to large-scale railway construction, when lines stretched from Moscow to the Far East and the mighty Trans-Siberian Railway carved across the continent, historians also began searching for the origins of Russian steam engineering. And buried in the archives, they rediscovered the blueprints, sketches, and reports of two brilliant men in the Urals. Today, Yefim and Miron Cherepanov are honored as the fathers of Russian locomotive engineering. Museums preserve models of their engines. Students learn their names and engineers still admire their courage. The Cherepanovs symbolize not just invention, but the birth of technological self-reliance in Russia. The story of the Cherepanovs is the story of Russia's slow industrial awakening, how a nation got caught between ancient tradition and the promise of a mechanical future. Two self-taught geniuses in the Urals built what no one expected, the first Russian locomotive, a machine that could have changed an empire. But resistance, hesitation, and the comfort of old ways pushed their creation into silence, leaving their iron masterpiece to fade before its time. Yet history did not forget. Decades later, as Russia finally embraced the power of rail, the Cherepanovs' work resurfaced, recognized as the spark that ignited everything that followed. The Cherepanov locomotive didn't transform Russia in its own time, but it paved the way for the engines that eventually would. Which forgotten machine should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.